What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We are back with our Sam Crack C6 Corvette. Guys, I paid $10,000 for this car. All right, 10 grand for an LS2 400 horsepower convertible Z51 3LT 2007 Chevy Corvette. Yes, it has 260,000 miles on the odometer. And yes, it does have a few problems, but what I want to do today is jump into this car to find out how bad it is, get an idea of how much it's going to cost me to put it back together, and then I'm going to make a decision whether or not it's actually worth the time and the money to put into it, or if this is one we should punt off down the road to somebody else. So here's the car. Obviously, it made it home. Hopefully you saw the videos, and now we have it on our Wildfire lift. Now, the paint is one of my biggest problem areas with the car. In full disclosure, I know we joke and make fun of Sam Crack and everything, and that's all good. That's great. But I want you guys to understand, it's all in fun. It's all a joke. None of it's serious. I didn't get screwed over or scammed on the car. It was all just in fun, okay? Sam Crack was awesome to deal with as far as payment, getting me the paperwork and everything, like absolutely amazing. He took a video before he sold me the car, showed me all of the defects, told me all about the flaws, and then followed it up with a disclaimer saying it's a car and it's going to break. All right, you don't get much more honest and legitimate than that. So all jokes aside, Sam Crack did sell me a great little car. This is a lot of car for $10,000, guys, but as to be expected with any car with 260,000 miles, there are some problems. We'll start with the exterior, and we'll get you guys up close to it, which we didn't do before. The paint job is totally gone from the Florida sun. All right, Sam did a lot of work to try to make it look better, and it definitely came out looking better, but ultimately this paint job is done. It's baked. It's just one of those things that happens, especially in a hot, humid climate like Florida. All right, that's easy to resolve. I'm going to contact Mako, and I'm going to see if I can get corporate to work with me on a sponsorship and see if that not a $300 paint job. Okay, I'm talking about the professional grade paint job to try to make this thing look new again. You got some crow's feet on the hood here, and the paint is really starting to come up in some of these places. The paint job it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The bumper is really faded, really bad. And of course, if we get it repainted, we'll need to get some new emblems to really brighten it up. I've already reached out to a lighting company. Most of you probably know who they are, but I'm not going to mention their name yet because we have not agreed on a deal, but hoping to get that C7 style headlight with the sequential lights and the LED tail and stop lights for the back as well. I think the paint job, the lights are going to make a huge difference in the way this car looks. There's some interior, as to be expected with, yeah, there we go. Old GM stuff, right? Probably some clips missing here and there. Not a big deal. We could probably find some clips and put that stuff back together. Overall, though, the interior is actually, it's really nice. The interiors are really nice. It needs a good cleaning because, I just drove it over 2,000 miles, and it's a little bit dirty, but the interior is actually pretty dadgum nice. These need to be replaced, both of them. Sam cut the wires out of those because the lights wouldn't stay off. The rearview mirror does this, so we need to address that as well. My biggest concern right now, though, is an oil leak that developed. Just kind of out of nowhere, she started leaking oil. She started leaking pretty good. Under the hood, things actually look pretty good under here, don't they? We're gonna need one of these. That's for sure. Then I noticed this. There's a wire just dangling here. Sam, if you know anything about this, drop a comment. But that wire, that goes to your brake fluid level right there. Now I take the cap off and I notice that she's pretty low, guys. I don't know how well you can see down in there, but that brake fluid is very low. The max is right here, and it's actually down to about right here. So she is significantly low. We're going to go ahead and top up that brake fluid today as well. We're going to get the car in the air, take a look underneath. My big concern, as I said right now, is the oil leak. We'll also use the Autel Maxi Elite to do a full diagnostic on this thing. We've got an airbag light that's on. We've got a security light that's on. We've got TPMS lights on. We got a check engine light on. The steering has a dead spot right there. And if I bring you over here, I don't know how well you can see down in there. It's kind of dark. But I was hopeful maybe it was in the steering shaft. It is not. It's going into the gear, which this is rack and pinion steering. It makes it solid into that gearbox. And that's where something goes terribly wrong. So whether that's tie rods or, you know, who knows, we're going to check the suspension while we're under there. So there's quite a bit to go over. And I've got to make the decision. Do I want to continue putting money into this car? It also needs a convertible top. It survived a nasty rainstorm the other day and it did not leak, but the top is getting in pretty rough shape. So needs a convertible top, needs a paint job. We still have the headlight not working. We have the issue with the brights coming on. When you turn the, I think it's the right turn signal on, your bright lights come on and then you blind people. People think you're flashing them, and that's something we're going to try to address in this video as well. So why don't we get this car up in the air? Let's take a look underneath, because I suspect I know where the oil leak is coming from, and it's not as bad as I thought, unless I'm wrong. All right, are you ready for this, guys? I cheated and I came under here without you because that oil leak was really concerning me. I just parked the car here and shut it off, and already I got this giant pool of oil. I come under here and I see oil all over the place, man. It's all over the front. It's all over. I mean, it's like it's been spraying all over the place.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Cancel. Why does Siri listen to everything I say? Now, I've already brought this to Sam Crack's attention because...
That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
Okay, I don't know why my watch is talking to me. Either way, we don't know who to blame this on, but I'll have to go back and watch his video and find out who did the oil change on this. Because as you can see, we have oil just soaked. The whole underside of this car is soaked in oil. The good news is this exhaust, I am going to be reaching out to some exhaust manufacturers to see if anybody wants to do header down, header back, or even just cat back exhaust for this. Would really make it sound good. But anyway, I'm thinking rear main seal, right? It's got to be a rear main seal. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's got to be a rear main seal. And then, I mean, I'm looking here and I see oil just all over this, and then this happens. Wait, what? What? Are you kidding me? Yep, dead serious. That's a Bosch filter. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna point fingers at anybody here, Sam. But I'm thinking the oil was probably coming from there. You notice how it's burnt all over this side and not so much this side? This thing has probably been just spraying oil in different directions. And as I've been going down the interstate for the last 2,000 miles, it's just, I mean, look, there's oil dripping off of here. I've got a lot of cleaning to do, guys. Transmission pan, it's got motor oil all over it. I got a lot of cleaning to get done, guys. So, ooh, you know, I was just thinking, doing a trans service on this, and I was looking up at the pan, I'm like, actually, it doesn't look like too big of a job. Not bad at all, right? Except for right there. There are some bolts. That one, and that one in particular in the corner there look like they are really fun to get to. I'm assuming you got to take out the motor mounts, or the transmission mounts, I should say, and jack them up. This is a unique design. I really like it, man. You got your torque tube, transmission, bell housings over here, and the trans goes this way. It even has a drain plug. Nothing really leaking out of this, guys. I mean, almost 300,000 miles. This thing looks to be in pretty incredible condition. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have you guys do this with me. I'm going to break out my favorite product when it comes to degreasing. You guys know what it is already, I think. I mean, look, I'm barely touching on stuff. My hands are covered. I've got plenty of Super Clean. The guys and gals over at Super Clean are always hooking me up. My personal favorite, and by the way, this is not sponsored. I don't want anybody thinking this is sponsored. They give me the stuff for free because I already was using it. And I just told them, hey man, when I use it, I'm going to show it in the videos. But my favorite by far is the daggum aerosol. I love the aerosol cans. And I'm just going to get under here and I'm going to kind of start from the back. I'm just going to, it's everywhere. It's on the bumpers. It's on the exhaust. It's on absolutely everything. So see what it looks like now. We'll come back and hopefully it'll be a little less shiny when I'm done. Are you guys ready to see how this came out? This should give you a pretty good idea. That was not there before. It is there now. Let's take a quick peek, shall we? I worked really, really hard on this. I really wanted to make sure it was clean. I did both sides. Like, I cleaned the whole underside, guys. Every bit of it. The exhaust pipes, the heat shields on the sides and above as well. I mean, I got up in every nook and cranny. These here, way up in there, above the exhaust pipes, absolutely everywhere. And look at it. She looks pretty dang good. Even got this bar here clean. Look at that. The mufflers, the tips, and I cleaned the lower portion of the diffuser as best I can. I'm going to have to hit that some more, and then I've got to clean the back bumper. But we'll walk back this way just so you can see that both sides are clean. They're no longer soaked in oil. The only thing I got left to do is tighten this up just a tad bit more. I've got an oil filter wrench I'm going to put on there and just tighten it down a tad bit more. But there it is. The underside is cleaned up. We found the oil leak. And other than that one leak from the oil filter, it doesn't look like this thing leaks from anywhere. So excellent news. Next, let's check the front and rear suspension, and then we can get it down off the lift. All right, we're going to start passenger side front wheel. Give it a nice little spin. As you can see, it looks pretty uniform. Hard to hear over the compressor, but sounds good. Oh, wow. Okay. To my surprise, there's no play. Not up and down, and not side to side. I thought for sure we were going to have a bearing or a tie rod issue. It doesn't make any noise when you're driving, but like I said, you got that dead spot in the steering. And yeah, I think that's going to be a problem within the rack itself. It's probably hard for you guys to see. You got to get just kind of the right angle. But anyway, I'm looking at the brakes, and the brake pads have about 50% of their life left. And the rotors, well, you can see for yourselves. The rotors up front here actually look pretty good. Let's move over to the driver's side. All right, I shut that compressor off. Backwards. Sounds fine. Forwards. Sounds fine. Let's give her the old jiggle. Nope. She only moves with the rest of the front end. Yeah. So my suspicions are now confirmed that the dead spot is not an inner or outer tie rod. I was really hoping it was, but it's actually a dead spot within the rack and pinion. Up and down. This thing's got no play, guys. No play. The only play we have is within the rack itself, and it's not that bad. You know, it's something you can live with. It's not dangerous. There's just a tad bit of play in the steering gear itself. Now we know. The suspension is good, though. Bearings and everything, tires are great. Like, honestly, this car, especially for the miles, is in really, really good condition. All right, so I guess now we can get it off of the lift, and we can start doing some other diagnosing and maybe even fix something. I don't know. We fixed the oil filter leak. That's a big deal, and I'm glad that's resolved. I'd love to get the headlight issue fixed today as well. So I don't think we're going to need it on this little lift anymore. So we should be able to raise her up just a hair. Or we don't even need to. We just drop her down gently. There we go. Just like that. Bring those arms in. Disconnect the hose. And roll her back to the front. Ta-da. All right. Let's bring the old girl down a little bit and let's run a diagnostic and see what's going on inside the computers. All right, let's find the key. And no key. All right, we got the Autel MaxiSys Elite doing its job, and she's got a few faults. We'll start with the engine control module. Obviously, that's important. And let's see what kind of codes we've got here. Let's do current and historical data. PO300, it says engine misfire detected. Heated oxygen sensor performance. Bank 1 sensor 2, bank 2 sensor 2. Status, current, status, current, status, current. That is very interesting because I have not felt a misfire from this car at all. Oxygen sensor, bank 1 sensor 2 and bank 2 sensor 2. That's not a huge deal. It would be different if it was bank 1 or 2 sensor 1. That would be upstream, but downstream really is not that important. So this could be bad oxygen sensors, but I doubt it. It's both of them. So chances are at 260,000 miles, both of the catalytic converters are probably trash. We'll see what other... Oh, these are not run, so these don't count. Let's get out of that. And, well, let's see what else we can get into. All right, next we went into the top. There's a convertible top issue, and it says Class 2 data link malfunction, and it is a historical code, so I'm not going to be too overly concerned with that one. Let's see what else is next. Remote control door lock receiver. 4 faults there. Let's see what that's all about. Keyless entry antenna. Now this makes sense. Keyless entry antenna 1 performance. I have a hard time getting the key. You got to move around and kind of point and sometimes tap, and it will start working again. But that for sure is an issue. Right front low tire pressure sensor, again with the Class 2 data link malfunction. Left rear low tire pressure sensor. We have a TPMS light on, and I can guarantee you all 4 of the TPMS sensors are going to need to be rebuilt. So I have no doubt that that's probably what that is all about. Passenger door module, we're probably going to be looking at the same antenna performance codes. Device voltage malfunction, mirror horizontal position, mirror vertical position. Okay, so no big deal there. So far, so good, guys. I'm not seeing anything crazy, nothing scary. Just some basic codes. Mainly the oxygen sensors seem to be the biggest problem right now. Heads-up display, vehicle communication interface module. Let's see what that says. And then we're going to reset them all. And we'll just have to see what comes back and what doesn't. Cellular phone. Oh, I don't think we need to worry about a cellular phone. What we'll do now is we will do a quick erase, and we'll see what comes back immediately and what doesn't. She'll go through and clear out these codes, and hopefully most of them don't come back. So as expected, everything cleared. Nothing came back, but that's a little confusing to me, and I'm going to show you why. There's a couple things going on in here that I didn't even see any error codes for. One of those is my airbag light is on and my security light is on. Yeah, thank you. I know. Okay, let's fire it up. Yeah, security light is on. TPMS light is flashing, and the airbag light is on. Obviously, it says service tire monitor. 260,836 miles. So my question is, why did I not get anything for the security light? And why did I not get anything for my airbag light down there? I'm going to fool around with it a little more and see if I can get something to come up. Well, this is interesting. I've got a couple new options now that the car is running. Right now we're in the body control module. It says lost communication with the TCM. That's a pretty big deal. I don't know how many of these are history, how many are current. but we're definitely going to try to clear these out and see which ones come back. Body control module still shows lost communication. There's the folding top module again. We'll do a quick erase. We still have an airbag fault. Driver frontal deployment loop resistance low, a B0042. So that's something we're going to want to take a look at. Obviously, the airbag light is not going to go out. You can go ahead and clear the code all day long, but it's not going to do any good. As soon as we get out of here, that code's going to pop right back up. Bingo. And we still have that issue with the body control module, which says it lost communication with the lost communication with the TCM. That's a little on the concerning side. So that's another one that that's another one that I'm going to have to really look into to figure out why. Oh, the security light went out. Would you look at that? So that's new. The security light is out. The TPMS light will go out if we rebuild the TPMS sensors, but the frontal deployment, that's going to be in this airbag, and it's reading a low resistance, so I'm assuming maybe the entire airbag assembly or the clock spring itself has failed. So probably replacing this airbag will fix the airbag light, replacing the TPMS sensors or rebuilding them will fix the light for the TPMS there. And that's all we got left. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. If we turn on the headlights, we'll see, you turn on the right turn signal and the brights come on. And now they're stuck on, and then you have to jiggle the handle. It's definitely going to be some kind of a dirty connection in there. So I guess the next thing I'm going to focus on is we're going to go ahead and shut the lights off, and we'll shut the car off for that matter. Let's take this little piece here off, this clamshell. Let's see if we can get in here, and hopefully we can put some electrical cleaner on these contacts. Maybe we can bring this back to life. I probably should have left well enough alone, but as you can see, I decided to go ahead and get in here and tear it out. There's the plugs, everything everything there looks good. I have no doubt that the switch itself is defective. Ever since I fixed that starter, instead of just buying new parts, I'm kind of curious to see if, maybe fiddling around with it, maybe I can fix it. So I've taken the switch apart. Here's the outside cover, and there's the internals, and it just kind of pops apart pretty easily. Yeah, you just bang it. No, it really does come apart easily. Now that I put it back together, it doesn't want to come apart. But anyway, this whole internal piece right here, this switch assembly, just pops right out. And at that point, I was able to get some of my CRC Cutie contact cleaner in there, and I've cleaned it up really well. I've moved the switch up and down, back and forth. I've done everything I can to clean the contacts. So if it's something as simple as dirty contacts, this should fix it. If it's just worn out, there's like this little rocker right here, and it's spring loaded. If this stuff is worn out, there's not going to be much that I can do about it, short of replacing it. But I mean, a new part cost me about $75, $80. Putting it in takes maybe 30 minutes of my time. The dealership, for example, wants over $400 to replace the multifunction switch, something you can easily do yourself if you've got an hour on your hands. And you might be able to fix the switch for nothing with a little bit of QD contact cleaner. Let's put it back together. Let's see if it works. It probably won't, but it was worth a shot. All right, guys, moment of truth. We either fixed it or we didn't. I put it back together because I don't have a new one. If I'm gonna have to order one, I'm gonna have to order one. So that's fog lights. There's headlights. There's fogs. Let's double check. The check engine light came on. Are you kidding me? The check engine light's on? That was quick. Brights. And they come on and off. Very nice. Left turn signal. No brights. Oh, man. Hold on. Yeah, the right turn signal still. See, the brights come on. Yeah. And then you gotta... Well, wait, that time it didn't. That time it didn't. That time neither. Okay, so then it's at least better than it was. That headlight still doesn't work. But yeah. And this one, this headlight right here barely works. Like, that sucker is... That's in bad shape, guys. All right, so did we fix it? Not really. The headlight here is dead because I'm 100% certain the ballast, which sits on the bottom of this headlight assembly, I think you got to take the bumper off to get to it. But there's a whole ballast on the underside of this. I guarantee you that has gone bad. So it's going to need a ballast. Might as well replace both ballasts at the same time because they both are probably equally worn. And there's the brights again. Yeah, so we didn't fix it. Sort of. Look, see? It's working. And it's not turning the brights on. There it is. Either way, I'm here to tell you it's better than it was. All right, it was way worse, but we're not going to get around having to replace that turn signal switch. So I tried, man. I did. I'm going to go ahead and run one more diagnostic on this real quick, figure out why the check engine light's on. I also noticed the security light came back on, and I think after that I got one more thing to do. Then I'm going to wrap it up for the night. This back bumper is absolutely disgusting. It's covered in oil. I'm going to shut the car off and I'm going to degrease all of this, get it real nice and clean, make it look good again. We're going to need a light bulb for in there too. Yep, that's something else to put on the list. Well, guys, I really had hoped to get a little more accomplished today than I did. Unfortunately, it looks like this is about as far as I'm going to be able to get. It's all back together, and the headlight, one of them works. The fog lights still work, turn signals work, but nothing is really repaired as far as that's concerned. The back bumper looks really, really nice. I used a bunch of super clean, and then I went with glass cleaner after that. And we've got all of the grease and residue off of that. So now she looks proper, she's clean. And the last thing I wanted to check is I started it up and I let it run, and I wanted to come down here and look for an oil leak. And guess what I don't see? Look at that. She is dry as a bone, guys. No leaks. That's a good day. We accomplished something. We tightened an oil filter. We tried to fix a couple other things. It just didn't work out. I need to order a couple lights for this, turn signal switch, some ballast. Yeah, she's going to need a few parts, guys. I did go ahead and fill the brake master cylinder back up, so she is good and full. Boom, that's done. Everything's ready for this car to back out. But, real quick, I guess it wouldn't hurt to come over here to the 92 Alante and see how she's doing. It's been... This car has had a hell of a ride, man. And I hope that it's savable, I really do. Before we fire it up, I want to take a quick peek at the trans fluid and see what it's looking like. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I am a little skeptical when it comes to this car. And I saw a couple of your comments are a little bit skeptical as well. This thing, I flushed something like 30 quarts of transmission fluid through this bad boy. And yet somehow the trans fluid was nice and pink. And then once we got on the road, it started turning this color, frothy again. Yeah, that pinkish, not natural color. Like this right here. That's not normal, guys. Now, there's two theories. One of them is that we didn't get it all out. And since driving it for thousands of miles, we've really flushed the water into the pan, which is where the dipstick goes. That's theory number one. Theory number two is this one. And that is that perhaps this car had been broken and parked before we ever got to... Ah. Is that oil? Is that oil in the cooling system? It is. Yes, it is. Huh. Well, I was starting to wonder myself if perhaps the transcooler in the radiator has broken and we are mixing coolant into the transmission. And that's definitely a possibility. However, the coolant level here has not moved. The coolant level here has also not moved. So I think the only way to really find out is we're going to have to drop the pan, clean this whole thing out, fill it up with fresh fluid all over again, and we'll see if it stays clean. And if it comes back with water in it again, guys, I'm going to blame that radiator, and we're going to go ahead and just rip the radiator out of this sucker and slap another one in, I guess. Mike left his Sonic drink in here. Mike, this is not a trash can for you. All right? Oh, is she dead? No way. Did the headlights get left on? I'll bet they did. I'll bet he left the... Huh. Okay. Let's put a jump on it then. Hear that noise? That's the brake pump building up brake pressure. Okay. Oh, she's in neutral with 40,111 miles. Yeah, that's how it would go, isn't it? Let's try it again. She hasn't been run since we got here, guys. We brought it in here and I got sick for a while and... Wow. She is not having it today. Oh, I went ahead and moved the jump pack over to the battery directly. So, there we go. And there it is. She's actually running very well. Look at those gauges too. Absolutely beautiful. Does it still have a transmission? Ooh. Yeah. There's drive. Mike's got the e-brake on. Good Lord. Urgh. Yeah, it doesn't want to go into reverse. There we go. There's drive. Forwards, good brakes. And can we get it? No. It's binding up in reverse. Oh. Oh no. Oh man. Well, guess what? Whatever just happened there. Well, now it thinks it's in park. Well, that's not park. Okay, we're gonna have to shut her down and set that e-brake. There we go. Well, we have something else that needs to be fixed now. Lovely. I wonder if the cable just came off under the hood here. That would be my bet, is the cable probably came disconnected. Either way, guess what? We're not going to screw with this today, guys. This was not on my agenda, and it's not going to be. I got other things to do. I got to get this Corvette home. I'm going to blame it on Mike. How's that? Can we just... He was manhandling it to the point that he broke it. So ultimately, he's responsible for whatever it takes to repair it. We'll see if we can get Monkey Wrench Mike out here to give us a hand. Maybe we'll have some fun wrenching on the old Cadillac Alante. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button if you'd like to see Mike and I out here trying to get this Alante going. And of course, if you enjoy the Corvette content, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I got a lot of parts to order. I guess I'll go ahead and get the The ballast, I might go ahead and get new bulbs. I know Sam already gave me new ones, but his are probably from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, something like that. So probably get some better bulbs, new ballast. We'll get a couple light bulbs here and there. And then I'm going to go ahead and send an email out to Mako to see if they'd be interested in doing a paint job on this car, try to bring it back to its former glory. I got a couple exhaust companies that I want to reach out to, see about getting a better flowing exhaust system for this thing as well. If you're interested in all of that content, well, drop a comment below and let me know. Please forgive my voice. I'm still recovering from COVID down in Florida. It's been a lengthy process, but I'm getting there. I'm way better, and I'm finally able to get back here and get back to work. There's a lot of cars that need a lot of little things, odds and ends done to them, including the Corvette and the Elante. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Hit the thumbs up button and drop your comments down below, guys. Till next time, stay safe out there. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.